Alright, so Jaguar back at you with another review video, and not only is it going to be a review video, it is also going to be a comparison video. We got the brand new Fanatics Authentic Pro Chicago Blackhawks third alternate jersey, finally back in black. So I'm going to be doing a quick review about this jersey as it is, and following that I'm going to be comparing it to the other two versions that they wore of the same style, or a very, very, very similar style. You're going to see the differences. Let's get right to it. All right, so first things first, if you guys don't mind giving me a like and subscribe, it greatly helps me out. I appreciate everybody that has been watching, commenting, and contributing to this channel. I love you guys. Thanks again. All right, so as mentioned, we're going to start off with a quick review of the Fanatics Authentic Pro Chicago Blackhawks third alternate jersey. As you guys can see, it is a black alternate and absolutely beautiful. Now, what I'm not going to do is give you exact details specifically of Authentic Pro jerseys in general, because I already have a video dedicated specifically to that, and there's other videos out there specifically for that. So guys, let's go ahead and get started. As you can see, it is a black jersey, and yes, they were before they started wearing them in the 96-97 season for roughly 10 seasons before they stopped, unfortunately, and now finally they brought them back. I'm so happy about that. So we got a black jersey with red and white details. So on the sleeves it's going to go red, white, red, and then at the bottom of the sleeve it's going to be red, and then the same pattern follows at the bottom of the jersey. Now guys, on the neck up here, as you can see, we're going to have a predominantly white collar with a thin red stripe going around. Now honestly, if it was me, I prefer if they could do a half and half like you see on mine right here, but we'll get into that later. As is though, absolutely beautiful. And then it's going to have the standard Chicago C with the tomahawks through it for the secondary logos on the traps, not on the shoulders. Basically, one of the things I do want to point out is that the details, per usual for Blackhawks jerseys, are chain stitched, as you can see right there, as well as on that secondary logo. All right, so here's the jersey from the front as a whole, like you've seen, and turning it around to the back, you can see how it has a nice, beautiful flow to it. All right, so as is, I'm going to be giving this jersey a 9.5. The black looks absolutely awesome, but more importantly, the red and white absolutely pops on the jersey. Guys, as you can see with the numbers here, it looks just as good with the numbers, and the white and top of red numbers pop. It looks beautiful on ice. They've already been wearing it on the ice. In addition, the kicker is all those red, green, tan, yellow, etc. details within the jersey. Look how much that pops on top of the black. Honestly, for me, not just because they're called the Blackhawks, but because this jersey is so nice, this should be their main jersey, not the red. As much as I love the red jersey, I strongly feel this is better. So I'm giving this one a 9.5. How does it stack up to this jersey, the original from 96 and 97? And then how does it stack up versus the Reebok Edge 1.0 when they stopped wearing them about 10 seasons later? Let's find out. All right, so guys, I guess the best way to do this is just to show you close-ups of each jersey, how they look. So first and foremost, the biggest difference between these three jerseys is going to be the collars. Each three has a different collar on there. Starting off with the Authentic Pro, again, as they call it, the three-quarter collar, you see the white go around with that thin red stripe. There's the front and the back. And then next up, we're going to have the Reebok Edge 1.0. And you can see how it's still a little bit more white than red, but the red does go all the way down and around the back, and it does have red predominantly around the shield. And then next up, we're going to have the one I'm wearing from 96-97 season, and that is going to have no NHL shield, so we're going to have that nice white and red equally around the whole jersey. All right, guys. So based off that, I'm going to go ahead and say I think I do like the 96-97 color the best. All right, so next, what's the main biggest difference on the three jerseys? And that is going to be the main Blackhawks logo on the front. Now, both on the Fanatics Authentic Pro and here on the Reebok Edge 1.0, it is almost identically the exact same Indian head chief up there. All right, guys, even the materials and the thickness is about the same. But on the 96-97, we're going to have the older style logo that they used to wear in the 90s. In addition, it is going to have that tan outline around there, which makes the jersey pop even more and has even a nicer feel to it. Now, in terms of the tomahawk C's on the shoulders, Again, almost identical. It's going to be between the Fanatics Authentic Pro as well as on the Reebok Edge 1.0, almost identical. On the Nike, it is slightly fatter and slightly bigger, but overall, again, it is going to be chain stitched and the same design. The sleeve stripes as well as the stripes at the bottom of the jersey are all pretty much the same width and design. As you guys can see, nothing really changed there, so that's all going to be the same, as well as at the bottom of the jersey. So once again, the biggest differences is going to be the front main logo and on the collar. Now, obviously, the Nike is going to fit different, so the fit's going to be different. You know, in terms of fit, if I do have to give one for the best fit, I'm going to have to go with the Reebok Edge 1.0. For my body type, at least, it fits the best. So in terms of material, that is something that's going to be different on each of these three jerseys. Fanatics Authentic Pro is going to have a thicker, stretchier feel to it with the ventilation here on the sides, as you can see. Then the Reebok Edge 1.0 is going to have a softer, silkier material, again, with a vent flow material over here on the sides, but a different material. And then the Nike is going to be air knit all the way throughout it. So in terms of material, guys, I do like the Fanatics Authentic Pro the best. It feels the sturdiest, and I do like the stretch to it. But then again, for wearing, maybe the air knit is the best because it is the lightest and it feels like it has the most air flowing through it. Hence, it's called air knit. All right, so it's time for a final review of each of these jerseys and where do they land on the list compared to each other. Now, Chicago Blackhawks, if you guys are watching, you're my hometown team. I say this with all truth and honesty. It's my opinion, of course. You guys should be wearing these black alternates as your main jersey. And I personally removed the red as an alternate. As this, though the red is awesome, I just personally like these better. Absolute awesome job. There's not one of these three that's bad. So let's go ahead and rank them. First and foremost, let's start with the bottom. I'm going to put the Fanatics at the bottom. Now, the material is the best on the three jerseys, in my opinion, but not hitting the tan outline around the Blackhawks logo and that old logo is a little bit of a letdown to me. Plus, two, I don't like how the tomahawks sit on the traps and not on the shoulders, but that's more of an Adidas/Fanatics thing for all teams across. Again, as is, this is getting a 9.5. Next up is going to be the Reebok Edge 1.0. Again, I do like how the tomahawks sit on the shoulders and not on the traps, so that's a plus. The front logo is the same as the Fanatics, still looks beautiful, but I do wish it had the tan outline, and the collar is better. So with that all said, I'm going to give this one a 9.75, almost a perfect 10 out of 10. And finally, at first place, we're going to have the OG, the 96-97 original version. And guys, the kicker with this one is going to be that huge front, old school Blackhawks logo on the front, especially with the tan line around it to really make it pop on top of the jersey and stand out. In addition, that symmetrical collar really helps balance the jersey. I'm going to give this one a solid 10.0. Not only is it one of my favorite Blackhawks jerseys of all time, this is probably top 5, if not top 3, if not my favorite NHL jersey of all time. Guys, I'll be doing a video sometime in the future about my favorite NHL jerseys of all time. This is definitely going to be towards the top, so keep your eyes out. Again, 10.0, absolutely flawless jersey. Nothing needs to get changed. All right, there you go. So there was my quick review of the Fanatics Authentic Pro Chicago Blackhawks alternate jersey and also comparison with the Reebok Edge 1.0 and the Nike Air Knit Original Center Ice. Guys, if there's another video you'd like to see me do in the future, don't hesitate to ask. And let me know currently for this season which NHL team has the best alternate jersey. I'll see you at the next one.